How are we, lads? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the NRL Round 19 tips and predictions. I hope everyone is doing well on this Tuesday night. It is July 8th, 2025, 7:33 p.m. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. Welcome to another round of tipping. Hopefully, we can go for a perfect round. That is the goal, anyway. Hello to the live chat. Hello to Luke, Melbourne Storm fan. Hello to Viking Axe. Hello to Diggs _96. Hello to Will Storm fan. Hello to Michael Driver. Hello to Jeffrey. And everyone else that is tuning in, watching the stream. Hello to Martin, all the way over there from the UK. Shout out to the UK followers. Shout out to the New Zealand followers, Papua New Guinea followers, everyone, and obviously the Australian followers and whatever you come from. Shout out to all of yous. Round 19. So this is obviously the last round of teams being affected by state of origin, but origin players are allowed to back up from Wednesday night. So obviously tomorrow night will be state of origin game 3. And then obviously from Friday through to the weekend, we have a lot of NRL. And from round 20 onwards, nobody should be origin affected anymore. Should be all good from there on the road to the finals. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like and subscribe, and let's begin with the NRL Round 19 tips and predictions. And it all starts off, man, Friday night football. And in my opinion, this is the game of the round on Friday night, man. Sharks versus Dolphins from Shark Park. Probably be a sellout of 12,000 people. Sharks and the Dolphins, man. Big game this. Obviously 10th versus 7th on the ladder. Really important game. The Sharks, they go in as favourites here at $1.60. The Dolphins are at $2.40. This game kicks off at 8 o'clock on Friday night out there in the Shire. Huge game this. The Sharks team, it's pretty much the same as what it is every week, but Jesse Colgan once again on the bench. Billy Burns at 18th man. Talakai in the centres, still due to the injury of Iro and Hiroti. As for the Dolphins, the hammer is named to back up. O'Sullivan comes in for the injured Nikorima. Avarillo goes on to the wing. Mark Nichols in the starting side. And, the Dolphins team looks pretty strong. Look, this is going to be a hell of a game. If you remember last year, I think it was like round 15 or something where the Dolphins went down to Cronulla and they beat them 24-22 or something, I think the score was. So, can the Dolphins make it 2 from 2 from Shark Park? They could, but I'm going to go the Sharks. I'm going to go the Sharks. I just think at the moment, obviously the Dolphins are playing great footy. They're scoring a lot of points. They're beating everyone in front of them. But the Nikorima injury has to have some sort of impact on the team. And I just feel at Shark Park, the Sharks have definitely been underperforming. They need to get their act together quickly if they want to play finals footy. So I think the Sharks really need to win this game, and I think they're going to win in a real tight one on Friday night. So I'm going to go the Sharks by 2. Sharks by 2 points. It's going to be a very close game. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Will Kennedy at fullback. I feel like Will Kennedy's name's not, I feel like it's been a little bit disrespected. Obviously, there's a lot of NRL clubs that have been offered Will Kennedy, and a lot of them are not interested in Will Kennedy. So I feel like he might come out here on Friday night and have a big game. So Sharks by 2, Will Kennedy to score the first try. Should be a belter of a game. Moving on to Super Saturday, where we have 3 games. And the first game is at 3 o'clock on Saturday from McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle. The Knights versus the Storm. The Storm $1.25. The Knights at $3.90. The Knights. Fletcher Hunt goes to fullback. Hastings and Cogger are in the halves. Leo Thompson returns from suspension. Frizzell goes to lock. Croker, Jones, Brayley, McGowan on the bench. Look, I'll say this about the Knights. As bad as I think they are, it's probably the best forward pack that the Knights have named in a number of weeks. It really is. But the problem is, no Kalen Ponga, no Fletcher Sharp, not many points in the Knights at the moment. As for the Storm, it's a very similar team from last week. All the Origin players named in the reserves. So it'll be 50-50 if they play or not. But I'm going to be honest. Even if they don't play, I just feel like Melbourne are going to be way too good for the Knights here. So I'm going to go the Melbourne Storm here by about 18 points. I just think they'll be far too good. Storm by 18. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Grant Anderson on the wing. I think he might score the first try. But even though it's in Newcastle, I just think the Storm will be too good. So Storm by 18 on Saturday afternoon. Moving on to the middle game of Super Saturday, the 5:30 game from Nostrada Jubilee Stadium in Cogra. We got the Dragons taking on the Roosters, and both these teams need to bounce back. The Dragons they almost pulled off a miracle comeback against the Raiders last week, and the Roosters had a shock loss to the Tigers, which no one really saw coming there. The Roosters are favourites here, $1.50. The Dragons at $2.50. The Dragons welcome back Val Holmes in the centres from Origin. As long as he gets through Origin, all good. He'll be there. Leilua's back. He's in the second row. Michael Mollo goes back to the bench. Pacifica Tonga drops back to the reserves as well, which I think is a bad decision. I've been a big fan of this Loka Pacifica Tonga fella. I don't know why he's not on the bench at least for the Dragons. As for the Roosters, they welcome back Billy Smith, Robert Toya, Connor Watson, Lindsay Collins, Angus Crichton, Spencer Lenu. All the Origin players are meant to play. Radley's back from his concussion drama. Look, I think the Dragons are a chance at Cogra. They always are. But I just feel like after what happened to the Roosters last week, Sam Walker is the other one I forgot to mention. Sam Walker is finally back. He was meant to be back in round 15, but he had an injury. Setback, I think it was a broken thumb. He's named to play. So Roosters get all their Origin guys back. Sam Walker at halfback. I think the Roosters will win, but I don't think they'll win by a big margin. The Dragons have been going pretty all right with a lot of the top sides. So for me, I'm going to go the Roosters by 8. I think it'll be a closer game than what people think. Roosters by 8 points here. First try scorer, I'm going to go with Marky Mark. If you don't know who that is, Mark Nawaga. I can't pronounce the rest. So Marky Mark, first try. Roosters by 8. Should be a good game. Moving on to the other game on Super Saturday, the main event of Super Saturday. It is my NRL team, the North Queensland Cowboys, going up against the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs from Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. 7:35 kickoff. And for the Cowboys, it's a really important game. It's a really important game for us. It's simple as that. We need to win this game badly. Now, the Bulldogs are favourites, $1.45. The Cowboys at $2.85. Now, the ins and outs. So all of the Origin players will back up for the Cowboys as long as they get through Origin. Ruben Cotter will start in the back row due to a couple of injuries to Sam McIntyre and John Bateman. So Cotter to back row, Edwards to lock, Carl Lawton on the bench. I would have had Temple, Calipo over Carl Lawton personally, but not much you can do about that. Overall, really good side for the Cowboys. Talangi in the reserves, he'll be touch and go. I don't think he'll play, but you never know. As for the Dogs, well, Anari Tawala is on the wing because Montoya's out injured. Burton and Sexton are the halves pairing. So Lachlan Galvin's still on the bench, and all the Bulldogs origin stars are named to play. Obviously, I'm going to tip the Cowboys to win this game. I'll always tip the Cowboys to win. I'll go Cowboys by 6. I think we'll win by a try. It will be a close game. Cowboys by 6. First try score, I'm going to go with Jackson Purdue at centre. I think he'll score the first try. But big game for the Cowboys because if we lose, then that Dolphins game next week at Suncorp, that could be season on the line sort of stuff. So really important game for the Cowboys. Cowboys by 6, Purdue first try scorer. And I will be doing a live stream watch along on Saturday for this game. So make sure you guys tune into that on Saturday. I'll give you guys the details and that more through the week. All right, moving on to Sunday now. Sunday football. First game is at, 2 o'clock from Mount Smart Stadium in New Zealand. It is the New Zealand Warriors up against the West Tigers. And the Warriors, they are $1.40. The Tigers, $2.95. Now, the Warriors. So obviously, Metcalf's injury is a big blow. Chance is out for a while. They do have Tane Tuapiki to fullback. Dallin Wattenis Lesniak on the wing. Tanner Boyd goes to halfback. Overall, everything else looks pretty much straightforward for the Warriors. Capewell in the reserves, so he might or might not play. For the Tigers, Taruba stays at fullback. Dewey goes back to the centers. Luai and Latufanu in the halves. It's a very strong Tigers team, similar to last week. So, good stuff. Good stuff. Warriors, Tigers. Look, I'm going to be honest here. I'm going to be honest. And I'm not sure how popular this is going to be, but I'm going to go the Tigers. I'm going to tip the West Tigers. I think they can back up what they did last week. Jerome Luai should be playing. I mean, they play Sunday. Origin's Wednesday. You fly over to New Zealand on Thursday. Captain's run Saturday. Luai should be right to go. I'm going to go the Tigers here, guys. I think the Warriors are really going to fall off here, man. They have lost so much quality, man. Mitch Barnett's gone for the year. Luke Metcalf's gone for the year. Chance is injured. Just, there's a lot of injuries happening at the Warriors. The wheels are going to fall off at some point. I think Tanner Boyd's a really crap halfback. So I'm going to go the Tigers in an upset. West Tigers will beat the Warriors by 4 points on Sunday afternoon in New Zealand. I'm going to go Leka Halasima to score the first try, but Tigers by 4. They are my specials of the round. All right, the middle game of Sunday is the 4 o'clock game from Combank Stadium. We've got the Eels taking on the Panthers. The Battle of the West once again. They only played each other about, 6 weeks ago? Whatever. It wasn't very long ago. Penrith are favourites, $1.30. The Eels at $3.30. Now, Parramatta, Brandon Hawkins are in the halves. Russell and Samrani are the centres, although Bailey Simonson's in the reserves. Could be a late inclusion. Talon Silva will make his Eels debut off the bench. Charlie Guymore in the back row for Parramatta. As for Penrith, all their origin players are named in the reserves, but they've got Cleary as captain in the reserves. So they will probably play unless something happens over, origin and going through the week. But origin affected or not, I think Penrith will be too good for the Eels here. I think Penrith have just got too much to play for. They need to keep winning to stay in the 8. That top 8 is very close at the moment. So I'm going to go Penrith by 12. I think that'll be too good. Penrith by 12 here. I'll go Blaze Talangi as the first try scorer. I think he'll have a big game, Blaze, against his old team, the Eels. So Panthers by 12. Blaze Talangi to score the first try in that one. And the final game, Sunday afternoon, or Sunday night, I should say, 6:15 kickoff on the Gold Coast. Seabus Super Stadium is the venue. The Gold Coast Titans versus the Brisbane Broncos. Now, the Broncos are $1.30. The Titans at $3.50. Now, there is a chance that I could be at this game with my brother. My brother's obviously a big Broncos supporter. We might be going to this game on Sunday night. Not exactly sure yet. Probably won't know until, the end of the week. So I might be at this game. I'm just going to sit back and watch it and see what happens. But Titans and the Broncos, I just look, the Titans, they do get a few back. Brimson the fullback. Foran and Campbell in the halves. They've got, what else they got here? They've got Chris Rendell in the back row once again. Tino at 13. David Fafita finally back. He's on the bench. They've got Lofi Khan Pereira in the reserves. Listen, if you're going to drop players, Des, you got to put Khan Pereira on the wing over Jalen de Groot. De Groot's not a winger, man. And Brian Kelly's form this season hasn't been great. So I'm a little bit surprised that Khan Pereira's not in the team. It's just crazy to me. As for the Broncos, Mariner on the wing, Shibasaki in the centers, Man Reynolds halves. Ben Hunt, number 9. Ben Hunt's finally back from injury. And I read something about an hour ago that this is the first time this year the Broncos have got their entire spine. Walsh, Mam, Reynolds, Hunt, and Billy Walters on the bench. So one of the strongest Broncos teams that they've named all year. Xavier Willison is in the front row with Payne Haas. Very good side the Broncos have named. Look, guys, I think the Titans will actually be competitive. I think they will give the Broncos a game. Do I think Titans win? No, I don't, but I think the Broncos win, but not by a big margin. I'm going to go Brisbane by 14. I think it'll be somewhat competitive. I'll go Broncos by 14. First try score, I'm going to go Katoni Staggs, but I think the Titans can just give them a game. Brisbane might seal the deal towards the end of the game, like last 10 minutes, but I think the Titans will be competitive. I think Jaden Campbell is a big inclusion, and David Fafita, we'll see what he can do, but Broncos by 14. So we'll just go through the tips again quick, guys, and then we'll get on out of here. We'll go Sharks to beat Dolphins 1-12. Storm Knights, Storm 13+. Roosters 1-12 over the Dragons. Cowboys to win 1-12. Tigers to beat the Warriors 1-12. Panthers 1-12 over the Eels. And the Broncos to win 13+. All right, guys, they're my tips. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe. Appreciate you all as always. And I'll be live tomorrow night for the Origin 3 review. Probably won't be until like 30, 40 minutes after the game. So it might not be till 10:30 or something. So Origin review will be a bit late tomorrow night. But anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, guys. See you in the next one. Go the Cowboys.